Bangor. From the Great North Woods to the Rockbound Coast and streaming live in HD worldwide at foxbangor.com. More people choose Good Morning Maine.
Good morning, Maine. How a routine traffic stop quickly turned into a tense police standoff in Plymouth.
Plus, it appears some Mainers could receive federal help following last month's destructive storm.
And the Herman School Board considers a call to shield students from library books they fear are too sexually explicit. Good morning and welcome to Good Morning Maine. I'm Emma Smith.
And I'm Craig Colson. Thank you so much for joining us on this Tuesday morning. We'll bring you up to date on all the day's news coming up. But first, a check of our forecast. And so far, it's looking pretty good. We'll see some clouds today, but we'll also see some sun. And the good news is it's kind of quiet, at least for the next day or so.
Absolutely. Yeah. Not too cold at all.
Yeah.
Here's Devin Biggs.
And thank you very much, Craig and Emma. Happy Tuesday. Your first weather forecast brought to you by Crosby Sports Shop. With all your fishing needs, carrying ammo, Damascus knives, gold and silver buying and selling, and a novelty room. Concealed classes are available. Call today. All right, here we go. This morning, we have a small cat advisory that is in effect until 6 p.m. Later on today, actually, we were watching another system passing through with gusty winds. That'll be the general idea for us today. That could cause the ocean to get a little bit active from time to time. Let's take a look at things at this point. We had a few returns on the radar, maybe some snow showers and flurries out there this morning. This will all taper off and will become part of the economy for the rest of the day with gusty winds that can reach up to around 20 miles per hour, maybe higher at times in a few areas. But meanwhile, though, this is the only action going on nearby. Otherwise, just some clouds nearby. But overall, looking pretty good as we do start things off. As for the winds today, it'll be out of the northwest in general. Some sustained winds up to 15 miles per hour along the coast. But notice by tonight and tomorrow, the winds really begin to back off. As for futurecasting under a partly cloudy sky for today, but really clearing out later on tonight, but some areas of dense fog may develop in a few spots. So your forecast for today, lower 30s, partly cloudy and breezy. That northwest wind getting up to about 20 miles per hour. And here's a look at your hourly forecast, starting off with some clouds early, otherwise then becoming partly cloudy, temperatures in the 20s and 30s. Your full 5-day forecast is coming up. Craig and Emma.
Thank you, Devin. Residents of Lincolnville are still in shock following the death of a local man that has been ruled a homicide. According to locals, something happened between two men who had been friends for decades. And now police are trying to figure out what took place. Our Matthew Dronsick has the story.
Friday evening, the Waldo County Sheriff's Office received a 911 phone call reporting an unresponsive male at 54 Thorndike Road in Lincolnville. After searching the property, sheriff's deputies found 37-year-old Kevin Kira deceased. Police detectives later arrested 47-year-old Matthew Pendleton.
When I first learned of it, I was pretty shocked, to be honest. We're a pretty small, close-knit community.
Detectives and evidence technicians with the Maine State Police worked throughout the weekend conducting interviews and analyzing the scene. After an autopsy was performed, the Office of the Chief Medical Examiner ruled the death a homicide.
We were actually scratching our heads trying to figure out exactly the last time something like this. None of us can remember. I can't certainly remember. My family can't either.
This time, the cause of death is being withheld as requested by the Attorney General's office. Even though the incident happened on Friday, residents are still processing the news.
It's still really a shock because we are such a close-knit community. Seeing, friendly faces that and then they're involved in something tragic like this. It's pretty hard to take.
Pendleton is set to be arraigned Tuesday morning at Belfast District Court. Reporting from Lincolnville, Matthew Dronsick, ABC 7 and Fox 22.
We'll have more on his arraignment tonight. In other news this morning, Bangor police arrested one person and are still searching for another following an alleged robbery. According to Sergeant Jason McCambley, it happened early last night. A 40-year-old man flagged down a Bangor officer on Center Street, and they say the man was only wearing boxer shorts at the time. He told police he had been robbed at a home on Center Street. Later on in the evening, Bangor police detectives and the special response team served a warrant at that home. And as a result of the investigation and warrant, 42-year-old Ronald Cody of Brewer was arrested and taken to the Penobscot County Jail. Police are also looking for 42-year-old Nicole Ford. Both are being charged with kidnapping, robbery, and criminal threatening with a dangerous weapon.
A routine traffic stop yesterday morning escalated and nearly took a tragic turn. Devin Dagnall was at the scene.
According to officials, Stephen Larrabee of Brooks, Maine, was stopped by Belfast officers for a license plate violation. During the stop, authorities began to suspect Larrabee was impaired by drugs or alcohol and asked him to step out of the vehicle. Larrabee then reached for what authorities thought was a handgun. When authorities backed up from the vehicle, Larrabee sped off and began a low-speed chase through Waldo County.
One of the Waldo County deputies was able to actually spike the vehicle. The vehicle continued into Plymouth Village and eventually it became disabled in the middle of Moosehead Trail.
According to the Belfast Police Department, after stopping, Larrabee barricaded himself in his vehicle and informed authorities that he had a handgun. Officers negotiated with Larrabee in an attempt to get him out of his vehicle and at one point used a flashbang to distract him. Karen Brainard lives in a house on Route 7 and was able to watch the whole event unfold.
It became apparent pretty quickly that the person in the vehicle wasn't going to get out, and so the police officers were trying to get him to put the keys out of the car, and he seemed pretty agitated, yelling and screaming at the police officers that he didn't want to be hurt, and they kept assuring him that they weren't going to hurt him.
After several hours of negotiations, Larrabee was safely taken from his vehicle and detained. He is currently facing charges including operating after revocation, violation of conditions of release, failure to stop for law enforcement, and felon in possession of firearms. We were able to get in contact with Larrabee's son, Matt Larrabee, about the situation, and he is stunned, to say the least. Matt Larrabee says that although his father has had problems with the law, it's never escalated to something like this. Matt Larrabee attributed his father's erratic behavior to PTSD from his military service and head trauma. Stephen Larrabee is currently being held in Waldo County Jail and is scheduled to be arraigned on March 3rd. In Plymouth for ABC 7 and Fox 22, Devin Dagnold.
Last night, the Herman School Committee rejected a proposed book rating system. It was prompted by parents who have been divided on whether students should have access to some books in the school's library, which some say contain explicit content. A local group of Herman parents has worked collectively for months now to push for more than 80 books to receive age-appropriate ratings based on sexual content and drug use. Several parents expressed concerns that a rating system would result in censorship. A few students also spoke at the meeting, some expressing that certain books have allowed them to heal from personal traumas. Regina Leonard, media spokesperson for the group of concerned parents, clarified that the rating option is not a ban, but rather an opportunity for parents to work together.
100% expected tonight to go exactly the way that it did. They continue to not listen. They continue to not work with us. They continue to treat another board member who we voted in to represent us the way that they do. Our questions, our concerns, and what we're asking for is not unreasonable. We're not asking for black and white from what we suggested. We're asking to work together.
Well, in the end, the board voted to initiate an opt-out system, allowing parents to simply select which books their child can and cannot read.
Yesterday, Senator Angus King talked about what he called his eventful visit to Ukraine. When Russia invaded Ukraine, many anticipated the conflict to last mere weeks, yet the war has persisted for nearly a year. Senator Angus King says the main purpose for his trip to Ukraine was to get a true feel for what is actually happening on the ground and as an act of accountability following Biden's release of billions of dollars in aid to Ukraine.
Very rough, a lot of casualties, almost like trench warfare in World War I. Some very serious battles taking place right now.
King says U.S. aid is vital to suppress Putin's push to reestablish the Soviet Union, which he says would have lasting negative effects beyond European borders.
A $3.9 million grant will boost the town of Patton's effort to build a new library. The grant is part of the fiscal year 2023 government funding package. Senator Susan Collins visited the town yesterday to help celebrate. The group Friends of the Veterans Memorial Library is spearheading the effort to build the new library, which has been temporarily housed in the Lumbermen's Museum since 2020. Prior to that, the library operated in a building that was constructed back in 1848 as a Baptist church before it was signed over to the town. They say the new facility will provide more computer workshops for all age groups, while also offering outdoor equipment to community members and tourists. The Friends group also hopes the new facility can host small nutrition and cooking classes to teach youth about healthy habits.
Northern Light Maine Coast Hospital celebrated the grand opening of its new birthing center. Hospital leaders held a ribbon-cutting ceremony yesterday for the Dixon Family Birthing Center in Ellsworth. Hospital President John Ronan says the new center is family-focused, featuring labor, delivery, and recovery suites, with plenty of space for a support person to stay overnight.
Delivering a baby is one of the most important things a mom will do or a family will do. Having a great space to do that in a private room and not having to move after delivering a baby was something that was important to us.
The new birthing center will officially open today.
Northern Light Acadia Hospital President Scott Oxley will be stepping down. Oxley has been with Northern Light for 30 years now and also serves as a senior vice president for the system. System president and CEO Timothy Dentry called Oxley a tireless advocate for Acadia Hospital, its employees, patients, and the hospital's role in the community. Oxley will be moving on to become the president of the Galen Cole Family Foundation. He officially departs Northern Light on May 1st.
Gas prices in Maine continue to fall. They went down a little over 1 cent per gallon in the last week. According to Gas Buddy's survey of more than 1,200 stations around the state, the average price is now $3.35 a gallon. That's 24 cents a gallon lower than a month ago and almost 5 cents a gallon lower than a year ago. Patrick DeHaan, Gas Buddy's head of petroleum analysis, says gas prices did rise around the country last week due to previous refinery outages caused by cold weather. But that could slow as refiners get back online. He says the average price of diesel continues to drift lower.
Like the direction they're heading anyway.
Keyword drift, I suppose. The time now is 8:11. Coming up next on Good Morning Maine, we'll find out why some Mainers could receive federal help in the wake of last month's destructive windstorm.
But first, another check of our forecast. A quiet day today. We'll see some sun and clouds. The high near 31 degrees. Getting pretty chilly tonight, dropping down to around 10 degrees. Tomorrow, a beautiful, mostly sunny day. Tomorrow, 28 degrees.
There's some things that go better together.
Burger and fries, soup and salad.
Thank you. Like your workplace benefits and retirement savings. With Voya, considering all your financial choices together can help you make smarter decisions for a more confident financial future.
Hey, it's Tandem Bicycle. You can't do that by yourself. Voya, well planned, well invested, well protected.
CEM DP Porter Contractors has been in business for over 40 years in the Bangor area. We specialize in design build for commercial, medical, and residential. We can assist our customers with anything from lot procurement to helping find financing for your project, along with building maintenance and renovations. CEM DP Porter Contractors is currently hiring a Herman for multiple positions, including carpenters and laborers. We offer vacation, holidays, a 3% IRA match, and competitive pay. If interested in applying, please contact Jason at 207-848-7486.
Governor, your only hope is a heart transplant.
Move me to the top of the transplant list.
Fox tonight.
You think it's worth it?
For the greater good, yes. Only one episode left until the season finale.
I am willing to save this hospital if he gets a heart.
The Resident, all new tonight at 8 on Fox.
Let's go.
It's not how you begin.
You take advantage of the moment.
But how you finish. Super Bowl 57, February 12th on Fox.
Yesterday was National Law Enforcement Appreciation Day. Every January 9th, citizens across the country take time to show their appreciation for law enforcement officers across their communities. The public can show their support in a number of ways, from wearing blue to sending thank you notes or delivering coffee to their local police departments. These men and women in uniform often work long days and sacrifice time with their own families to protect and serve our communities.
There are people that are more forthcoming now about how much they appreciate it, or just some people go out of their way.
National Law Enforcement Appreciation Day was created in 2015.
Well, a small coastal Maine town is one of many dealing with a big problem as affordable housing becomes harder and harder to find. A.J. Douglas spoke to one local leader who's trying to address that problem.
Stonington residents are complaining about the constant struggle to find affordable housing in town.
Some houses that may have been like $200,000, a few years ago, are now $400,000, well beyond what anyone around here can afford.
Town officials are looking into the lack of housing and high costs. Stonington's town manager, Kathleen Billings, says the town is considering an option to track the number of Airbnb rentals, as several residents fear this could be a big factor in the lack of housing options available to locals.
With the greater numbers of them, some people are buying a lot of property.
Virtual consultant Camoin Associates conducted a housing study for the town of Stonington, finding that more housing options are in fact needed. But
this is a complex problem that took a long time to develop, so there's no one simple answer.
Town officials are open to purchasing abandoned properties to expand housing options. Billings says the town plans to have residents vote on potentially developing a housing revenue fund to use surplus funds to establish housing initiatives. In Stonington, A.J. Douglas for ABC 7 and Fox 22.
One of my favorite places on earth right there.
Stonington.
I love Stonington.
That's a beautiful part of Maine. Yep, we're very lucky to be so close.
Yeah. Well, right now the time is 8:16. Coming up after the break, a Massachusetts woman has been missing for 8 days now, and now her husband is in court for hindering the investigation.
Plus, we'll hear about the preliminary investigation into documents used by the Biden administration during the election process. These stories and more as Good Morning Maine continues.
Hello, Maine. This is Steve McKay. It's a wintry mix out there, but pockets of orange are standing out against the white blanket of snow throughout the state. Next Home Experience is listing and selling homes just like yours. Get looped and get sold with Next Home Experience.
Don't cry, don't whine. Get yours where I got mine. At BB's Tattoo Company, 262 Moosehead Trail, Newport.
Hi folks, this is Barry Gass of Gass Horse Supply and Western Wear in Orono. We've been in business since 1911, and our third-generation family-owned business can't wait to show you our unique line of Western wear and Western tack. We have Western boots, shirts, hats, belts, and buckles for the entire family, and Western tack from bridles to saddles and everything in between for your horse.
Gas Horse Supply and Western Wear, where the American West comes alive in Maine.
General Rental Center has been serving Central Maine with equipment and tool rentals for more than 30 years. Our extensive inventory contains everything you need to get the job done right. Our professional, knowledgeable staff is here to make sure that you get the highest quality rental items to complete your project and that they have been serviced and maintained to the highest standards. Power brooms to get that sand off the lawn, leaf blowers, brush chippers, stump grinders, aerial lifts, tillers, and excavators. We rent most everything. If you don't see it in our online catalog, please ask for it. If we don't have the item you need, we would be happy to help you find it.
Looking for your dream home? Contact a Next Homie today and see what's available right now. Sellers, get ready to get looped and get sold. With Next Home Experience, we have your buyers.
California residents are facing more destructive weather today, with forecasters warning people to brace for a relentless parade of cyclones. Much of the state has received unprecedented rainfall, and more is on its way. In San Luis Obispo, a 5-year-old boy was swept away by floodwaters as his mother was rescued from a flooded car. The city of Santa Barbara saw 6 inches of rain yesterday alone, leaving many homes and roadways flooded. Some of California's wealthiest neighborhoods are also being evacuated, including Montecito, the seaside community that's home to Oprah, Rob Lowe, and other celebrities. Despite the rain, much of California remains under extreme drought. It would likely take years of wetter than usual conditions to reverse that.
A lot of it right now is just kind of running off, and along with it is taking vegetation, which kind of leads to mudslides. And just a mess out there.
It's so frustrating. And of course, they love to see the rain, but not like this.
Not like that, yeah. We're thinking of them today. Fortunately for us, we don't have anything major on the horizon to worry about as far as the weather's concerned. I think a lot of people will welcome that. Others are waiting for the big storms. They want the snow to arrive.
I know. I'm kind of one of them. I'm not even a skier or a snowboarder, but I can see some snow.
It's January. Bring on the snow.
Right. Here's Devin Biggs.
Alrighty, Craig and Emma, thank you very much. Your full weather forecast brought to you by Crosby Sports Shop. With all your fishing needs, carrying ammo, Damascus knives, gold and silver buying and selling, and a novelty room. Concealed classes are available. Call today. Alrighty, here we go this morning. We do have small craft advisories that are in effect until 6 p.m. later this evening. They have been reissued, though, because we're going to be dealing with some gusty winds again. It's farther down toward the coast, too. We're seeing some of these alerts that are in effect. And most of the areas staying until 6 p.m. later on today because of gusty winds, again, with the wave of energy that's currently moving through. And we've seen some snow showers on the radar this morning. Some of this may have hit the ground, so now the realm of possibility. You might have seen a little bit of something after this morning, but this will give way to a partly cloudy sky later this afternoon. Some gusty winds out there from time to time, but overall, this front currently moving through is what's bringing all the energy with it, but things will really begin to clear out later on tonight. Will then become mostly clear, but some areas of patchy fog can't be ruled out in a few areas. So Futurecast currently moving forward, showing you a little bit of this. So again, a partly cloudy sky today. The sky continues to clear out later on tonight. And areas of dense fog that may try to develop later on tonight, very patchy in spots, so not very widespread. But as we head towards your Wednesday, look at this. A lot of sunshine out there, maybe a few passing clouds. It'll be a beautiful day before more clouds start to approach as we head towards early Thursday morning. Ahead of our next system that will begin to move in. So we're going to rewind the clock back to 6 p.m. Wednesday right here and show you the system that will be moving in yet again. The first little bits of energy will try to move in Thursday afternoon, but better opportunities by Thursday evening with snow to the north and a wind shear mix further down toward the south. Eventually switching to all rain as warmer air begins to move in. So we'll see a decent amount of rain with us too by Friday morning and keeping some waves going at least through parts of Saturday afternoon before this begins to taper off. As for how much rain, a decent amount. This will include some melted down snow too. So of course numbers do continue to develop, but decent rainfall and maybe some snow on the way of 1 to 2 inches in rainfall units before we're all finished up. We'll issue some snowfall forecasts as we do get closer if warranted. Also some winds on the way as well, gusting up to around 20 miles per hour at times throughout the daytime today. But notice by tonight, those will be in a taper off later on. So your forecast for today looking a little bit like this. Lower 30s, partly cloudy and breezy. Northwest wind getting up to about 20 miles per hour. Later on tonight, falling to 10 degrees tonight. Mostly clear, some areas of patchy fog, and the wind overall looking nice and calm. For tomorrow, upper 20s becoming mostly sunny. The north breeze getting up to about 5 miles per hour. Alrighty, here's a look at your extended forecast brought to you by Crosby Sports Shop. Cloudy with a slight chance for snow on Thursday and highs in the mid-30s. Rain and snow showers switching to all rain by Friday. Highs in the upper 40s. And the rain continues into Saturday. Highs in the low 40s.
Here at Garrett's Auto Sales, we believe in fair prices, superior service, and always treating the customer right. We have a fantastic selection of cars, trucks, and SUVs to choose from, with some priced under $10,000. All our vehicles come with a complimentary 30-day warranty and can be seen at garrettsauto.com. Come see us at Garrett's Auto Sales, where we focus on you, the customer. We're located just 2 miles from the Brewer Walmart on Route 1A. We look forward to meeting you.
Hey, Dad, I'm almost out.
I got you.
Any questions, Chris?
All good. Thanks, Maura. There you go. One new inhaler.
Nice. Did you get my refill, too?
Maybe.
Here you go, sir.
You're a lifesaver.
So nice day.
Healthier is managing all your family's prescriptions in one app. CVS Pharmacy. Healthier happens together.
Who can you call when you need immediate help, any time of day or night? Always giving you and your family peace of mind.
AAA's legendary roadside assistance is a network with over 50,000 vehicles that respond to more than 32 million assistance calls every year.
If something happens and we're broken down, my family's not going to be stranded.
There are so many benefits to membership, and AAA is there if you're locked out of your car, need a tow, run out of gas, have a flat tire, or a dead battery.
You know, if you have one flat tire or one battery service, that membership fee pays for itself.
Wherever you go, wherever you are, you can trust AAA to be there when you need them.
Join today and a full year of AAA membership is just $53. We'll waive the membership admission fee, and as a special bonus, you'll receive a 1-year membership for an eligible family member. Don't wait another second. Call to join AAA right now.
Welcome back to Good Morning Maine. Monday marked 8 days since missing Massachusetts mom Anna Walsh was last seen. And now concerning new developments in the case as her husband Brian Walsh goes before a judge for hindering the police investigation. Fox News correspondent Molly Line has the latest.
Eerie new details emerging about the disappearance of missing Massachusetts mom of 3, Anna Walsh. Her husband, Brian Walsh, making his first court appearance Monday, a day after he was arrested and charged with misleading the police investigation into his missing wife.
That allowed him time to either clean up evidence, dispose of evidence.
Prosecutors laying out Walsh's movements in the days after Anna was last seen. Despite being on house arrest for a previous crime, Walsh told police he went to visit his mom but got lost. Authorities also say the next day he took an unapproved trip to Home Depot, where the 46-year-old spent $450 on things like mops, tarps, and tape.
Blood was found in the basement area, as well as a knife, which also contained some blood.
Anna was last seen by a family member at her home early in the morning on January 1st. Her husband initially told investigators the 39-year-old was supposed to be taking a ride share to Boston's airport that morning for a flight to Washington, D.C., where she works. But on Monday, it was revealed she had a ticket for a different day.
She actually had a plane ticket for January 3rd, which she did not use, and did not show up at the airport, nor her D.C. job or her apartment in D.C.
A day later, on January 4th, both her employer and her husband reported her missing. Brian's defense attorney says he's been cooperative in the investigation.
We have consented to searches of his home. We have consented to searches of his property.
The judge ordering Brian Walsh held on $500,000 cash bail. He's due back in court on February 9th. In Quincy, Massachusetts, Molly Line, Fox News.
Public schools lost more than 1 million students since the start of the pandemic, forcing some to shut down. That's because there's not enough funding to keep these buildings open. If a school has fewer students, that means it'll receive less money. Decreases in birth rates, increases in homeschooling, and competition from private schools are reasons for the decline in students. The U.S. saw a 3% loss in students since the start of the pandemic. Enrollment figures remained flat ever since. Districts in Colorado and California voted to close more than 20 schools combined in 2022.
The Justice Department has launched a preliminary investigation into classified presidential documents. This time, the focus is on recently found records at a Washington, D.C. office space President Biden used off and on in the run-up to his 2020 presidential campaign. ABC's Justin Finch has more.
This morning, ABC News has learned the Justice Department has launched a preliminary investigation into classified records from President Biden's time as vice president. Biden now in Mexico for talks with the leaders of Canada and Mexico, not answering questions about the matter. The White House telling ABC News it's cooperating with the National Archives and the Justice Department, confirming a small number of documents with classified markings were discovered when President Biden's personal attorneys were packing files housed in a locked closet at the Penn Biden Center, where Biden kept in office before his 2020 election campaign. The White House adding the items were handed over to the National Archives the following morning.
There's no indication yet that there's any kind of criminal investigation that's been launched as a result of this finding.
Former President Trump was quick to respond, asking when is the FBI going to raid the many homes of Joe Biden, perhaps even the White House. The White House underscoring the documents were not the subject of a National Archives request, drawing a hard line between this investigation and the Justice Department's criminal probe into the trove of FBI-seized classified records from Trump's Mar-a-Lago estate.
This appears to be a wildly different, at least at this stage, situation than what former President Donald Trump is facing with the criminal investigation into his alleged mishandling of classified documents after leaving the presidency.
Sources tell ABC Attorney General Merrick Garland is assigning U.S. Attorney John Losh to head this review. The Trump appointee will investigate the chain of possession of those classified documents.
Still to come here on the second half of our show, we'll hear from a police officer turned author who's trying to raise awareness about the stigma of mental illness.
We'll be back right after this.
Riptide Smoke Shop, we pride ourselves on being local. Riptide is locally owned and operated at its new location in Belfast. We have a large selection of glass from over 40 local artists. We have prices for everyone, starting at just a few dollars. Trying to quit? Try one of our 50-plus vape flavors. Riptide offers incense, pendants, clothing, art, and more. Come vibe with the tide. A deal worth the drive.
Bath remodeling was revolutionized in this garage in 1984 when three brothers created the iconic bath fitter tub-over-tub process. A breakthrough then, the industry standard now for beautiful baths without the mess, stress, or high cost. A better way from bath fitter means precise measurement, the highest quality acrylic, perfect preparation, and watertight installation backed by a lifetime warranty. Bath fitter, it just fits. Visit bathfitter.com to book your free consultation.
You're watching Fox 22, Bangor.
Welcome back. Today is Tuesday, January 10th, 2023. It's also National Houseplant Appreciation Day. By now, most holiday decorations and Christmas trees have been put away, but we don't need to lose the freshness and vibrancy that having a tree brings to our homes. Getting a lovely plant is something you can enjoy all year round. Some people enjoy it, gives them something to care for too, especially if you live alone. I know some people like to have a lot of plants around and that sort of things.
I'm that way, definitely. And you know, with taking the Christmas tree down, it's always nice because then the plants are getting that light that they were used to before. The Christmas tree kind of, at least in my house, obstructs that. So my plants are happy again.
But they're good. It's good for the air in your house and all that kind
certain
of adds
plants
to
especially.
The decor.
Yeah, I know. I brought it up last hour, but some ferns, some snake plants, all sorts of stuff. There's all, like you can look up, just Google it real quick and you'll find 5 really basic ones that you can find at Lowe's and Walmart that are they purify the air, I guess is the right way to put it.
I like that.
Yeah.
I like that a lot.
Yeah, absolutely.
As we've kind of established this morning too, I don't do plants because they just die.
Yeah, it's hard. It's hard. Either you got it or you don't.
Yep.
But you can always learn, but it takes, you should have a timer on your phone or something if
you
forget
today
about them.
is watering the plant day. That's what I always forget.
Right.
And then I notice they're just like barely clinging to life. By the time I get to them, it's like, yeah, well,
yes.
Try again some other day.
Maybe we could change that. We'll see. I have plenty to give you if you want to kill them.
I'm good. I'm good.
Well, on this day in history, in 1863, the London Underground had its beginnings as the world's first underground passenger railway opened to the public. And in 1946, the U.S. Army bounced the first radar signal off of the moon from Fort Monmouth, New Jersey. And in 1956, Elvis Presley recorded the single Heartbreak Hotel. The song would lead the Billboard Top 100 for 7 weeks and also reached the charts for country, pop, and rhythm and blues.
I finally watched that Elvis movie on Netflix. I don't know if you've seen it.
I've been meaning to.
It's awesome. It's really good. It was told from a unique perspective, but very entertaining, and also, you know, you kind of learn a little bit too.
And it said some stuff about Patricia as well, right? It said his first wife. I believe he only had one wife, but
I don't know.
Okay, I guess I'll have to watch it for myself.
I can't remember her name right now. Priscilla.
Priscilla, excuse me. Yeah.
Drew a blank there for a second. Yeah, it talked about that and the whole thing. So very entertaining, very well done.
I'll have to check it out.
Yeah. Today's birthdays include rocker Rod Stewart, who is 78 years old. Can you believe that? Boxing Hall of Famer George Foreman is 74. Singer Pat Benatar is 70. And race car driver Bobby Rahal is 69 years old. He's still going strong. I believe he's an owner, still very much involved in racing.
Right. At least his family is, Ben said.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if he is specifically.
Ben, our camera guy, is like our resident race car expert. Actually, you're kind of the expert on a lot of things around here.
Yeah.
Keep us straight. He nods his head.
Well, as far as the weather goes, Devin Biggs is our expert, and we'll toss it over right now to him.
And thank you very much, Craig and Emma. Happy Tuesday. Your first weather forecast brought to you by Crosby Sports Shop. with all your fishing needs, carrying ammo, Damascus knives, gold and silver buying and selling, and a novelty room. Concealed classes are available. Call today. All right, here we go. This morning, we have a small cat advisory that is in effect until 6 p.m. Later on today, we were watching another system passing through with gusty winds. That'll be the general idea for us today. And that could cause the ocean to get a little bit active from time to time. Let's take a look at things at this point. We had a few returns on the radar, maybe some snow showers and flurries out there this morning. This will all taper off and will become partly cloudy for the rest of the day with gusty winds that can reach up to around 20 miles per hour, maybe higher at times in a few areas. But meanwhile, though, this is the only action going on nearby. Otherwise, just some clouds nearby. But overall, looking pretty good as we do start things off. As for the winds today, it'll be out of the northwest in general. Some sustained winds up to 15 miles per hour along the coast. But notice by tonight and tomorrow, the winds really begin to back off. As for futurecasting under a partly cloudy sky for today, but really clearing out later on tonight, but some areas of dense fog may develop in a few spots. So your forecast for today, lower 30s, partly cloudy and breezy. That northwest wind getting up to about 20 miles per hour. And here's a look at your hourly forecast, starting off with some clouds early, otherwise then becoming partly cloudy, temperatures in the 20s and 30s. Your full 5-day forecast is coming up. Craig and Emma.
Thank you, Devin. It looks like the snow already got out of our system. Seems like it snowed for a little bit here in Bangor, and we got quite a little dusting.
Yeah, it was quiet when I came to work this morning, but get a little blast every now and then.
Right. Well, a former Maine police officer is finding a new calling as an author. Lisa Beecher and her husband spent decades serving in law enforcement in southern Maine. Beecher's book, called Living with Mr. Fahrenheit, is a memoir that follows her husband's battle with mental illness and the stigma that often exists for those seeking help. Our Jody Hersey sat down with her earlier yesterday.
Law enforcement officers are called to the unimaginable. Car crashes, fatalities, abusive situations, and so many more horrific scenes when they respond to an emergency. Lisa Beecher and her husband served the Portland community for years as police officers.
I detail a couple of those calls in the book, the ones where I noticed an increase in his bad dreams at night. But it was 17 years of shift after shift of traumatic scenes, which every Portland police officer goes through.
Beecher says her husband suffered a psychotic break.
He spent 2 weeks at a psychiatric hospital, came out with diagnoses and therapies and prescriptions for medications, and he stabilized and went back to work for 3 years.
Beecher documents in her new book, Mr. Fahrenheit, what it's like to have a mental illness and the fear and stigma that exists for those who are brave enough to admit they need help.
We are those warriors, those devastation experts, the people that run in when everyone else is running out. How do we reconcile that with our own humanness?
Beecher admits there are police departments taking steps to help strengthen officers and first responders' mental health. However, she says more needs to be done.
There are chiefs doing a lot of work on this now, but we need more. We need more than EAP programs and peer support programs. We need education about what happens to the brain when it's exposed to repeated trauma.
Living with Mr. Fahrenheit is now available at lisabeecher.com and area bookstores. In Bangor, I'm Jody Hersey for ABC 7 and Fox 22.
And when we return, Tyler Cruz and Ryan Sudol will have your sports updates.
Don't go away.
Realtors at Morrison & Company with Next Home Experience have been serving satisfied clients since 2016. With more than $25 million in sales for 2022 alone, we hold the expertise to get you from under contract to closing during this very personal experience. Our modern and hands-on approach will get you where you want to be, faster and with less hassle. Call us today for your real estate options.
Dad, not another showing.
It's your journey. Own every mile in an available H-Track all-wheel drive Hyundai SUV. Get 2.9% APR financing for up to 48 months on select Hyundai vehicles. Visit your local Hyundai dealer today.
Looking for a new work experience? Fox and ABC Bangor are partnering with local employers to feature the best local job opportunities, like this one.
Bonham Masonry is currently hiring for general laborers and experienced masons. On-the-job training is available for those with no experience. We offer paid time off, travel pay, IRA, and health benefits. If interested in applying, please contact Dan Bonham at 323-5304.
You ready? There's no peeking.
It's festive family fun.
Window.
Christmas present.
Christmas gift. Gift is correct.
All wrapped up.
No boots, no shoes. Snowshoes is correct.
There we go.
These are a little like Santa's helper's shoes.
In one picture-perfect show.
Come on, one more, let's go. It's a hat.
Party
It's
hat.
Santa Claus.
Santa Claus is correct.
Dictionary.
Weekdays at 10 on Fox 22.
This is Sheldon Cooper's theory of relativity.
Young Sheldon 5 times a week.
On Fox 22.
Welcome back in, everyone. Thank you for staying with us. We will start with some big news. In August of 2020, it was announced that Maine Maritime Academy would be suspending football indefinitely due to funding issues created by the pandemic. And as of Monday, that indefinite suspension is now over. The Academy announced on Monday morning that they will be reinstating football starting this fall and in 2024 as a sub-varsity program to start, and then joining the Commonwealth Coast Conference in 2025. They began fundraising in September and 97 days later reached their goal of $562,000, about half of that coming from the Alfond Foundation. Speaking with Mariners Athletic Director Steve Peed this afternoon, he says the process all started with a text from the university's new president last spring.
There were times where I wasn't sure there was going to be a process to bring it back. And, we were looking at a lot of things. We've had a lot of difficult conversations internally. But really the impetus for this was a text message from President Paul, who came on board in April. On a Friday afternoon, he said, what would it look like to bring football back? What would that timeline be? What would it cost? How soon can we do it? I know it was a Friday at the end of the school year, but I couldn't wait to sit down and start putting that timeline and plan together.
Pete says that the next step in the process is hiring a coach and a full-time staff to put a roster together. They'll aim to play 4 to 6 games this fall against local teams and then a few more than that next year. But all in all, Pete says football is part of MMA's DNA, and he can't wait for that atmosphere to be back in Castine this fall.
Just thinking about that tradition and getting to bring that back, you can't beat college football on a Saturday. I mean, there's just something about you, especially small college football. You walk out, you smell the grills going, and there's that fall bite in the air. I can't wait to have that feeling again.
Let's go to the hardwood now. It has been an unreal season so far for Maine sophomore Adriana Smith, and after a record-setting week, she has been named America East's Player of the Week. In 2 games, she averaged 32 points, 10 rebounds, and 4.5 assists. On Wednesday in Maine's America East home opener, she dropped a career-high 30 points with 10 boards and 5 assists, becoming the first America East player in over a decade to put up 30, 10, and 5 in one game, and then came back out on Saturday and broke her career high with a 34-point outing, leading Maine to a 3-0 conference record. Smith didn't play too much as a freshman because Maeve Carroll was the team's 5, and she says she was able to learn a ton as Carroll's understudy.
I learned a lot from her coming in here and as a freshman, and she was the starting 5 doing great things. I learned a lot what works in offense from her. So yeah, there's a lot of Maeve's game in mind. So.
All right, it's been fun watching her play this season. Let's hope she can continue it. Let's hit the slopes now. Nordic skiers were in action this weekend in Waterville for the Corey Road Scrambler High School race for one of really the first major events of the season. Orono's Ruth White dominated the cross-country ski course just as she did cross-country running in the fall, winning the event. But it's been a slow start to the year. Many of the mountains and trails close by could really use a fresh coating of snow. For now, the skiers are working hard in the gym, getting ready for the return to the slopes. Nordic ski coordinator Mike Daly says the kids have been resilient, and we asked if maybe going through the pandemic has helped in this situation.
Yeah, I think in a weird way that resilience that everybody's forced to develop, and certainly for the high school kids and the middle school kids, it's kind of now a new skill set they have to just roll with it, kind of that dogged determination to we'll be okay. We'll be okay with no snow. We'll be okay when snow comes. It's really inspiring.
All right, let's stay with high school sports now. We will go to the hoop scene. A couple of games around the area on Monday. Bangor and Deering boys and girls going at it, so we will start with the girls. Here in Bangor, the Rams are going at it. Bangor looking to stay unbeaten in the top AA North. Deering looking to grab that first win. We'll start this in the second quarter. Bangor up, but Deering fighting back. Maya Gale goes coast to coast on the fast break. 2 of her 21 points right there. Deering with the ball again, but look at this play. Emmy Streams jumps the passing lane, and that's going to be an easy finish for 2 for the Maine Black Bears commit. And while it was close, Bangor was really in control all game. Here is Cassidy Ireland here. Too strong off the glass, but Abby Quinn cleans it up and gets 2 of her own. And then some real good ball movement here is going to find Ireland. Nice soft touch from long range. Nothing but net. Bangor wins 43-35. Down I-95 we go and over to Deering for the boys game. We're going to pick this one up in the first quarter. Bangor going inside to number 20, Matt Holmes. Banks that one in for 2. Bangor up 4 in the first. But back comes Deering with Justin Jamal and a spectacular move here. Getting that scoop shot to fall. Nice floater in midair there. But Bangor really working the paint. Here's a nice basket from Ryan Ford for 2. And it's going to be Connor Boone corralling this mid-range rebound despite all of the effort from Deering to keep him from doing so. And he gets the putback there. Strong bucket from Boone. Back and forth this one went. And here is Boone strong to the basket for an and one. Bangor wins a real close one down in Deering. 64-62 is the final. All right, some other scores from around the area tonight in Class C and D North. Penobscot Valley 50-33, Bangor Christian 53-31, and then for the girls, Panquist Valley getting revenge on Bangor Christian there. Class AA girls, a big one between Edward Little and Oxford Hills. Oxford Hills coming out on top of that one, 91-48. That's all the time we have for sports. We'll be right back after the break.
Come stop by Triple S Tack Shop, 315 Hamden Road, Carmel, for quality clothing and equestrian gear.
Don't cry, don't whine. Get yours where I got mine. At BB's Tattoo Company, 262 Moosehead Trail, Newport.
When the Katahdin General Store wants to know the local forecast, they log on to foxbangor.com. Come to the KG for fishing, hunting, and camping supplies, souvenirs, unique gifts, apparel like Lazy One, fresh sandwiches and baked goods, the beer cave, liquor, and a variety of takeout items.
On the next, Last Man Standing, when Eve winds up in the lucky seat. Come on down! She wins the chance to show her stuff.
I'm going to be on the football team.
A child of mine is going to be on the football team. I think my bucket list is complete.
And a father's dream comes true.
Put in the field goal kicker.
When I walk around school wearing this, do you know how much attention I'll get? The same amount I used to get wearing, well, anything really.
Last Man Standing.
This afternoon, starting at 4 on Fox 22.
Welcome back to Good Morning Maine. I'm here with Jennifer Hicks. She is the Director of Communications and Outreach for Maine Woodland Owners. Thank you for coming on the show this morning.
Thanks for having me.
Of course. And of course, you're here to talk about the forestry forum occurring tomorrow in Augusta. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
This is our biggest indoor event.
Cool.
We are an organization that is geared towards supporting woodland owners, mostly small woodland owners, 1,000 acres or less. And about a third of our forests are managed by these small woodland owners. So our job is to help them and give them what they need to manage the forests. This event is one of those opportunities for woodland owners to come together, to feel like they're part of a bigger community, and to get some really interesting information, helpful information, inspiration to do the forest management that we hope they can do.
What do you hope they can do for forest management?
Well, learn about some of the things that are trending right now. So we do have some foresters who are going to talk about trends around forest professionals.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to have someone who's going to talk from the Maine Forest Service about pests and diseases, which is a reality that a lot of woodland owners are facing at this point. So it's going to be the latest information around that. We're also going to have someone talk about the wood markets. A lot of our members harvest their wood, and they rely on some of the revenue to pay their taxes and to bring in a little bit more income to their families. So we wanted to make sure they have the latest information about that as well.
And for the pest management part, that is probably relevant to people who aren't property owners as well, right?
Yeah.
And landowners.
There's a lot of concern around some of the new pests that have shown up. We knew they were coming because they've been in other states. Maine is pretty much the last state facing some of these issues.
Right.
The emerald ash borer is pretty well known, and it is affecting our ash resource in Maine. I think that most people who care about forests would care about knowing what the trends are around our forest health, and disease and pests are a big part of that.
Absolutely. I know in Castine they had to cut down some historic trees recently because of that.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So what kind of presentations are going to be at the event?
Well, what's interesting about this is it's part of the Ag Trade Show. So it's going to be at the Augusta Civic Center. We open our doors up at 8. People come, they have coffee, Danish meet and greet. Some people haven't seen each other in several years because we haven't had an in-person event like this for 2 years, and neither has the Ag Trade Show.
Yeah.
So we're all very excited to be back in the same space. We actually use this as our annual meeting as well as an organization. We're a membership organization. We have about 2,300 people who are paid members and receive a monthly newsletter. We do programs, whatnot. So this is a great way for them to come together, see each other in person, and then talk about the organization. We'll do about a half-hour presentation, and then we kick right into these series of presentations. As I said, we're doing a wood market update. We're going to be doing, we're going to have presenters talking about the future of our forest professionals. So University of Maine, how are they doing providing the training for these forest professionals? We're also going to have a couple, Dean and Sheila Bennett, who are incredibly knowledgeable about the Maine forests and natural resources. They wrote a book. I'm going to give them a little prop. It's When the Land Turned Green.
Yep.
They talk about the fact that Maine has some of the oldest land plant fossils, and they're tied into the white pine tree, which a lot of people don't know about. So they're going to talk about the very historic parts of Maine.
Sounds like there's something for everybody. And I hate to cut you off, but let's just plug how people, when and where, and how people can attend.
Yes. So if they would like to come, you can just show up. It's free. You come at any point. We don't have any registration. We just give you a name tag.
Cool.
And you can also get some lunch there.
Cool.
We're selling some lunch. We're also going to be talking about carbon credits. That's the biggie. That's what a lot of people want to come and hear about. Woodland owners can actually sell their carbon credits. If it's the right situation, we're going to have 2 people talking about that for people to determine if this is a fit for them.
Awesome. And we'll have all the information on the address and the times for how you can attend. There's also a virtual option as well, I've been reading.
Yep.
So, yeah.
That's right. You can also attend online.
Yep.
So if you're not in the state, or if you don't want to drive, or if you don't want to be in a large crowd, all you have to do is go to mainwoodlandowners.org. You'll find links. You'll get all the information that you need.
Awesome. Jen, thank you for coming on.
It's
and
great to
plugging
be
this
here.
in.
Thank you.
Of course.
Hope to see everybody there.
Yeah. We'll throw it over to Devin Biggs for a full weather forecast.
Alrighty, Craig and Emma, thank you very much. Your full weather forecast brought to you by Crosby Sports Shop. With all your fishing needs, carrying ammo, Damascus knives, gold and silver buying and selling, and a novelty room. Concealed classes are available. Call today. Alrighty, here we go this morning. We do have small cat advisories that are in effect until 6 p.m. later this evening. They have been reissued, though, because we're going to be dealing with some gusty winds again. It's farther down toward the coast, too. We're seeing some of these alerts that are in effect. And most of the area is staying until 6 p.m. later on today because of gusty winds, again, with a wave of energy that's currently moving through. And we've seen some snow showers showers on the radar this morning. Some of this may have hit the ground, so not out of the realm of possibility. You might have seen a little bit of something out there this morning, but this will give way to a partly cloudy sky later this afternoon. Some gusty winds out there from time to time, but overall, this front currently moving through is what's bringing all the energy with it, but things will really begin to clear out later on tonight. Will then become mostly clear, but some areas of patchy fog can't be ruled out in a few areas. So Futurecast currently moving forward, showing you a little bit of this. So again, a partly cloudy sky today. The sky continues to clear out later on tonight. And areas of dense fog that may try to develop later on tonight, very patchy in spots, so not very widespread. But as we head towards your Wednesday, look at this. A lot of sunshine out there, maybe a few passing clouds. It'll be a beautiful day before more clouds start to approach as we head towards early Thursday morning. Ahead of our next system that will begin to move in. So we're going to rewind the clock back to 6 p.m. Wednesday right here and show you the system that will be moving in yet again. The first little bits of energy will try to move in Thursday afternoon, but better opportunities by Thursday evening with snow to the north and a wind shear mix further down toward the south. Eventually switching to all rain as warmer air begins to move in. So we'll see a decent amount of rain with us too by Friday morning and keeping some waves going at least through parts of Saturday afternoon before this begins to taper off. As for how much rain, a decent amount. This will include some melted down snow too. So of course numbers do continue to develop, but decent rainfall and maybe some snow on the way of 1 to 2 inches in rainfall units before we're all finished up. We'll issue some snowfall forecasts as we do get closer if warranted. Also some winds on the way as well, gusting up to around 20 miles per hour at times throughout the daytime today. But notice by tonight, those will begin to taper off later on. So your forecast for today looking a little bit like this. Lower 30s, partly cloudy and breezy. Northwest wind getting up to about 20 miles per hour. Later on tonight, falling to 10 degrees tonight. Mostly clear, some areas of patchy fog, and the wind overall looking nice and calm. For tomorrow, upper 20s becoming mostly sunny. The north breeze getting up to about 5 miles per hour. Alrighty, here's a look at your extended forecast brought to you by Crosby Sports Shop. Cloudy with a slight chance for snow on Thursday and highs in the mid-30s. Rain and snow showers switching to all rain by Friday. Highs in the upper 40s. And the rain continues into Saturday. Highs in the low 40s.
Are you looking to have some fun, including soaring on Skyrider, the ultimate indoor zip line? Well, come over to Urban Air, Bangor's #1 birthday party destination, located at the Airport Mall. Urban Air has gravity-defying attractions for all ages, including our warrior course, trampolines, enormous arcade section, and climbing walls. Call us today to schedule your birthday party. And don't forget, we have endless play memberships available as well. Urban Air, let them fly.
Maine Commercial Solar offers a variety of services including solar systems design, sales, maintenance, and installation. Maine Commercial Solar can help you with existing or new systems. We offer packages for installation by others, or we can help you build your own solar array, smaller residential, or anything in between. Maine Commercial Solar is currently hiring in Herman for multiple positions. We offer competitive pay, a 3% IRA match, vacation, holiday time, and a family-oriented environment. If interested, please call Jason at 848-7486.
BuyAToyota.com is Toyota's official website for deals with the most comprehensive selection of Toyota offers available. You'll see every official Toyota deal out there, including offers not seen on TV. Plus, you can search inventory and get a free independent trade-in value. Right now, you could save with 3.99% financing on an all-wheel drive RAV4. And every RAV4 comes with 2 years no-cost maintenance and more. BuyAToyota.com when you officially want the best deal. Toyota, let's go places.
One good guess.
Cursed romance. Star-crossed lovers.
You better work! Deserves another.
Egyptian writing.
Hieroglyphics.
Wow! I felt like the person shouting wrong answers in the study group.
And another.
Opposite water?
Sand.
25 words or less.
You did it again. You're going home with another $10,000.
Weekdays at 9 on Fox 22.
A traveler at Tampa International Airport claimed a 4-foot boa constrictor was her emotional support snake. The TSA shared an X-ray image of the snake inside the woman's carry-on bag. According to the TSA, the woman tried to travel with the snake, named Bartholomew. In December, TSA agents saw Bartholomew when the bag went through an X-ray machine. The agency had to contact the woman's airline, which said she could not fly with the snake. According to the TSA, a few airlines actually do allow snakes in checked luggage if they're packed correctly and hopefully sedated correctly as well.